back to my farm and life. I was going to say welcome to Little Norton, but since I've missed the turn once already, we're not actually there yet. So we've drove from Atcham, and I've dropped Trevor off at his friend's. He's going to make his way to the auction on his own. I say on his own with his friend. So yeah, I've brought the Land Rover, and whether I pick him up from his friends later or not, or whether he gets back in with us, I'm not overly sure. What I'm told is if you go up here, you'll get to a roundabout and you turn left, and then we're there. So just waiting for this roundabout. He says. I wouldn't care as well. Just before I put the camera on, there was no roundabout. I'll try turning left though. Yeah, just before I put the camera on, there was actually a turning that took us straight into where we would be parking, but I missed it. But I suppose it gets us seeing a bit of Little Norton, doesn't it? Which I'm sure I'd appreciate if I wasn't concentrating so much on not getting lost again. Right, I can see a roundabout. I think we've just gone too far, haven't we? We haven't turned when we should have. So if I go straight over here, I'm hoping, yep, supermarket. That's where we're going to be parking. Not going here? Yep. Right, get switched off. Right, so we'll get that locked up and we'll head up. What I've been told is if we go around the back of this car park, there's a little track that leads us up there. Just we were told prior to come that there was no parking actually at the garage. So Trevor's been here before. He was the one who told us about it. That looks like they've got. What's that? Oh, they've got food and drinks tents on as well. I don't suppose they're there all the time. There's there's football. It's a football pitch by the looks of it that they've just put on. I'll just get past people here. That's not bad. I'll definitely come down there. I haven't had a coffee yet, so we'll definitely come down here. There's plenty of people about, like, isn't there? So Trevor said the garage is just up at the top of here. I think I've just seen a flag. Yeah, there it is. So we just get near as it opens as well at 10 o'clock. It was starting. Now, I believe the way it works is you can't buy anything straight away, and it's not an auction as we know it. I think you have to put sort of your top price in at the end, towards the end of the day, which I think is from 3 o'clock onwards. I was told to go. Well, there's certainly plenty here, isn't there? I was told to go inside first, and then we can get a pamphlet. some sweets if I fancy some of them later as well. Ah, there we go. I'll just pick a pamphlet up. Right, pamphlet in hand, and staff have just sort of confirmed what I've said there. I'll close the door behind us. The morning is just to look around, and early into the afternoon as well. After that, from 3 o'clock onwards, that's when the bidding will start, and it will be submit your best offer. 65 grand. I know it's an older one. It's not bad though, is it? So it seems to be split into three sort of categories. You've got all the new John Deere stuff here. It looks like there's old tractors over there, and then we passed a load on the way in, didn't we? So we'll have a look at the new stuff first, just simply because there's no way we'll be able to afford that. We're able to go in as well and have a look. So what's this? This is the 8R. Let's go around the other side. I'm not going to look in all of them, just I thought we'd jump in one of them. So like this one, the brochure's saying it starts at 290 horsepower. But I mean, it's just luxury, isn't it, compared to what we've been used to using. I mean, I know we use that Massey from the BJ, but I mean, this is just gorgeous, isn't it? So what else we got? 7R, 269 horsepower, the same. I mean, just going back to that 8R, it just looks massive from the front, doesn't it? The way it sort of slopes down, where that's a bit stubbier there. Still nice though. It's quite interesting, isn't it? The little gator. The pamphlet doesn't actually have anything about that, but it's obviously for sale. I mean, these are all brand new, these as well. What have we got here? 6M. So I think, judging by it, this is the smallest one they've got. 142 horsepower this starts at. And the 6R, so it's in 280 for this one. So I mean, it's a powerful thing as well. I'm just stepping up on the smaller one there. What's that, another 6R? I've just found, I'll go back to it, because I've just turned the page over there, and it does say it's about the gator. So what it's saying is, it comes in various different configurations, so you can have it open, or you can have doors on it. It says you can buy it with a skip, which will be effectively a bit like a trailer, won't it? You can get it for bales, you can get the sprayer, you can get a 3-point linkage. So I mean, that's mega useful, that, isn't it? Really versatile bit of kit. We'll go over to these. What's this here? T560i. Let's have a look in. Very nice. I mean, you could spend hours in here, couldn't you? And probably not even feel it. And what's this one? This one looks like a beast, doesn't it? This looks massive. I assume the interior is just going to be pretty much the same, so I won't bother going in, but my word, that is big. S790. Look at the size of that. Right. So that's the stuff we can't afford out the way. Let's have let's have a look at more. So I'll tell you what I will do just before we start looking. You'll probably see we're up to, well, nearly 3,500. We didn't quite get to 3,500. That's come from, we got our payment from the BGA, which the BGA paid us just over £400 for the work we did for them. We had £900. In fact, it was just a little more actually. Just over £900 come from the insurance for the Kramer. So I mean, we spent about 800 on, didn't we? So we've got a little bit of money from that, and then the rest was just wages that Trevor owed us. I've also managed to get a credit card with £5 on it. I say £5 on it, £5 available to spend. Because it's been, since our last episode, it's been just over a week. So I was able to get that. I mean, I had to use Trevor's address, like, because I don't think that I've used it for my tent just south of Atcham, but we've got one. So I mean, effectively, we've got up to £8.5 to spend. Although I don't want to be doing that. I'll only use the credit card if I really need to be honest. Right. So, what's the first one? Fiat 580. We'll have a look inside. So this says it was made with 58 horsepower. It doesn't mean it's got 58 horsepower anymore. But I mean, I think this is from late 70s, early 80s. I mean, this looks like a bit of a beast, to be honest, doesn't it? 1300 DT, another Fiat. It's quite similar, but 150 horsepower this came out with. This is from the 70s as well. I think, to be honest though, that is going to be out my price range. I mean, look at the size of this as well. This is a Ford 1185. Look at them wheels on it as well. They're flotation wheels, aren't they? I mean, this is nice, isn't it? 135 horsepower. Ford County this is. This is very much an 80s tractor as well. What's this? The Hurleyman Elite. Let's have a look in here. So 105 horsepower this. Late 80s, early 90s. I mean, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? I think for best looking tractor, that might be it there. Well, so far. We say that. Still a good few to look at. Right. I mean, we go from good looking tractor. Then we go to the Zeta 8011. I think, I might be wrong, but I think Zeta's a Czech company. I don't know when this is from. 70s maybe? Early 70s? 80 horsepower this one has. Or did have. I keep having to say that because I'm sure some of them horses have bolted by now. I mean, this is a nice one as well, isn't it? The New Holland. £110 horsepower, as given there. Another Another one from the 80s. In fact, there's quite a lot, isn't there, from that sort of time period. But this, even just looking at it straight away, I know that's a 90s tractor. You can tell. So the Deutz for 6.08 special. 107 horsepower. I mean, to be fair, I know Trevor likes his Deutz. And this would be a good one for him, that. I think it's got a little less horsepower than the 60s tractor that he's got back at the farm, but it's also got about 30 less years on it as well. Right, let's go and have a look at the other ones. I mean, I think just off when we were walking in, none of these had cabs, did they? No, they're all open tops. I mean, I think, to be honest, these are going to be more what we're looking at. Just price-wise, I mean, I imagine that the majority of them over there are going to be over 10 grand. Where these, I imagine, are all going to be sort of 5 or lower, maybe 6 or lower. So what have we got here? Massey Ferguson 398. 100 horsepower, it said. For this one, I'm not going to sit in these ones. It's pointless, isn't it? I mean, that is lovely, that, isn't it? That must be an 80s one as well. A lot of the 80s one have got them very square sort of fronts, haven't they? I mean, this looks like a sports tractor, this, doesn't it? Look at that. Look at the front of that. A Linda BF450. So 50 horsepower, and that is from the 60s. That looks like it should be in someone's sort of collection rather than actually being used. That is gorgeous. Just the colouring and everything. It's yeah. I take away best looking tractor from the Hurleyman, and I'm giving it to the Linda. In fact, it's Linda, isn't it? Not Linda. She could be a Linda though. Right. What have we got next? Another Deutz. A Deutz D80. It says 75 horsepower. What's this? This must be a 60s tractor as well. There's something about them 60s tractors, isn't there? That they're just. I mean, look at them now there. Yeah, I like that one a lot as well. Right, Case International 1246. This, it hasn't got a cab on it, but this thing is an absolute beast. It's 150 horsepower, and I think it might be deceiving of just how big this is. Obviously, I'm stood next to it, but I'm trying to get. So if you look at them two there, this is just so much bigger. There's no way this is going to go for within our price range. There's not a chance. This is going to be well over 8 grand. That is an absolute beast. To put it into perspective, that has more horsepower than anything a Trevor owns. Right. A Massey Ferguson 220B. 47 horsepower when new. And from the 70s, this one. What I'll say is they're all in good condition, aren't they? What this auction, it's basically where they've took equipment in as part exchanges to sell their stuff. So they obviously don't take rubbish in, do they? What have we got left? One more left. So this is a T30, which, and I'm only guessing, given the fact that a lot of the tanks were named this, I assume that this is a Soviet tractor. Has to be, doesn't it? A T30. Wasn't there a tank called the T30 as well? So this says this has 32 horsepower, this one. And this is 60s tractor. So decisions, isn't it? I don't think we're going to afford anything up the top. It's going to be these here, and I think that's out. And to be fair, it's got a lot more power than what we need anyway. So we're going to be looking at them 3 and these 2. Big decision in that. I mean, what I'm going to do, I've got the brochure. I'm going to go down, get something to eat, have a coffee, and then we'll come back up. I'll have to have a think about it. So it'll be a couple of hours. I'll see you in a couple of hours. Well, that was just what I needed. It's been a good few hours. I've actually been back up and had another look around them. I didn't record it. I didn't see much point. But yeah, what I've decided to do. We'll go back up. I also got I got a hot dog from there as well. It's very nice. What I've decided to do is the very first Fiat that we looked at, the 580. I'm going to put a cheeky bid on there. I'm going up a little bit later. I spoke to Trevor not that long ago. They're running behind a little bit, so it hasn't started yet. But I do believe that the order that they're in the brochure is the order they're going to go for. So that Fiat is going to be probably the very first one. Because all their own tractors, all the John Deeres, they're just there to buy. They're brand new. You can purchase them on the day. Not that we are able to. But yeah, to start with, I'm going to look at that. I'm going to put a little cheeky bid in for that Fiat. Although that would mean using the credit card. And then, if not, then I think we're going to bid for that Massey Ferguson here. So, let's go and see what the state of play is. And then register our bid. I'm going to put 8,000 in for that Fiat. Right, let's get done. Right, we've missed out on the Fiat. It went for 8,300. So I mean, we were 300 shy basically. I've just put a bid in for the Zeta. I've put a bid in of 4,500 for that. So we'll just have to see what comes of that now. That one, it's probably not going to be done for another, I don't know, at least another 20 minutes or so, because we're only up to the Ford is the one they're doing at the minute, the Ford County. So I'll come back once we found out what's happened with the Zeta. Right, Zeta's not happening either. That's gone unsold. It didn't reach the minimum that they put on it. So, yep, that's another one gone. The ones after that, I'm just looking through the brochure now. The New Holland, there's no way we're going to be able to afford that. And there's no way we're going to be able to afford the Deutz-Fahr, so we're going to look at the Massey. Now this one, I've been doing a bit more research on the ones out the front. These actually go for quite a bit. This particular Massey, I'm going to put a bid in. However, it's quite a... I do really like it, but it's more than what I think some of the other tractors of better spec are going to be worth. But I'm going to put it in anyway, so I'm going to put 5,500 in and see where we get with that. Again, I'll come back once we know more. Right, we're starting to get desperate now. The Massey that went for over £6,000. I mean, I thought by putting what I did in was a bit high, but yeah, over £6,000 for that. I then put a 5,000 bid in for the Lidner. That went higher. That's gone. So I've now put a price of 3,500 on the Deutz, the D80, and we're just waiting to hear back from that. It's going to be the next one. So, I mean, we're really, really desperate. I mean, after that, we've got the case. It's going to be too much. The T30, I'm not really fancying. The only other option would be the Massey Ferguson 20B. So, yeah, I'll come back once we've got some news. But, I mean, it's starting to get worrying now. Right, the eagle-eyed among you might notice that we have no money left. And it's not because we've bought this one. This is now ours. The Deutz D80. And it's gorgeous, isn't it? I mean, I did say it when we first came between these two, just for the best looking, but this is the one we've gone with. 3,500. It was the highest bid. I don't think many people actually bid on this one, so we were quite lucky. So yeah, £3,500 gone. But we do have, I suppose we can sit on it now, can't we? We do have our own tractor again. So I'm over the moon. I've already signed for it. It's ours. However, we won't be driving away with it today. It'll get delivered to the John Deere store, and then we'll go and collect it from there. But they said it'll only take a couple of days for it to be delivered, and then it'll all be ours. So I think that's where we're going to leave it. I know quite a few of the tractors up the top went either unsold completely, or I was going to say they didn't reach the asking price that the store had put on them. So we might see some of them at future auctions. Apparently they have these 4 times a year, so this was the summer one. Right, so thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you again next time, which will be back at Trevor's farm. See you then.